So when we see images and star forts like this, we go, wow. Seriously guys, we do. They are so beautiful, yet so mysterious. And as soon as we start looking at them, seeing the different types of patterns, we automatically, well, we should go, intriguing. What is it? What are they? And there's so many theories about this, but I'm introducing a new theory. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, guys. So don the music. I'll shut up for a few seconds and I'm prepared for this new theory. Right, guys. So it got me thinking, what are all these star designs? Why are they all different? It's like they want to show someone, to show off above. When you look at these star forts, they're like the Nazca lines. You can only really see the beauty of these designs from above. So like that esoteric saying, some say it's occult, hidden, some say it's Masonic. But when we say as above, so below, it's like they want to show it to someone in the heavens. I mean, just look at the symbol. If you type in as above, so below, you get this. And what does it resemble? It resembles a star fort. So whatever happens above happens down here. So they built them for someone above. So this is the theory that I'm going to get on this video to show you who that person is, who taught people how to build these star forts and everything in between. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, guys. For most of you who are just new to the channel, most of the people who are, of old and have been here from the beginning know how I work. I just show information that I found. I'll leave it up to you, your good minds, your great minds, to put it together, to agree, to disagree, to help with your own theories. But it's information. Everything is information. Rightly or wrongly, it's information. You can discard it, you can keep it. And I just found this very fascinating, and it changes the way we look at things. So let's start from here. Janus, the fabled son of Uranus, or Uranus, or Uranus, how you want to pronounce it, because the original Greek way has an O on the front, so it's our Anus or Uranus. I have seen lots of texts stating that Janus is Uranus, and we've seen this through history. Wives being daughters and whatnot. It's very hard to pinpoint what relationship these are, but for this information, Janus, the fabled son of Uranus, or Uranus, is believed to have been the most ancient king of Italy, who hospitably received Saturn when, as a fugitive from Crete, the father of Jupiter, or you can call him Jove too, father of Jupiter, banished by his son, arrived in a ship on the shores of Latium. Now, that is a Greek name, Uranus or Uranus. I think it's Coelus, which is his Roman name for the father. But this is just how these guys have wrote it. So I'm just letting you guys know. So he arrived in a ship on the shores of Latium, which the ship is actually still there. I've done a video on it called Island of the Gods. If I remember, I'll put a little picture now on screen, or a few pictures on screen. I don't know if I've got music or anything, so you can see the picture is still there. Also, see, this is what confusing is about history, because Janus is also known as Noah Janus, or Janus Noah. So you can see the reference to building ships and it'll show you later on in this. So he arrived in a ship on the shores of Latium. According to the accounts of Aurelius Victor, Janus was the mastermind of their age. He basically created the golden age in which they lived. He was the founder of a city called Janiculum, and the hill's still there. It's the 8th hill in Rome. 8th, and it's just like the infinity symbol. So you can see he founded the city called Janiculum. He taught his people the divisions of the year, the use of shipping and of money. He invented crowns. I've covered this so many times in different videos. People are like, yeah, we know. Then the rules of justice. I showed you that as well. Maritime law. Right, so he did the rules of justice and the mode of living happily under the authority of the laws. I've showed you this about the laws too, in the scales and so much in all my videos that I've covered. He also instructed them how to build temples and to honour the god with sacrificial worship. Right? So just tell me before we carry on the last bit. So starforts, they are surrounded by what? By walls, right? So if you find a text saying this, so the gods of sacrificial worship to surround the cities with walls. So Janus taught people how to build walls around cities, aka starforts, bastion forts, bulwarks, whatever you want to call them. He taught people how to surround their cities with walls. Yes, he doesn't say starforts, but that is not interesting enough, because you can see the links, or you will see the links of what I've talked about. So to surround the cities with walls, to grow corn and to plant the vine. It was out of gratitude for these alleged benefits that Janus was placed by the Romans in the rank of the gods and regarded as presiding over treaties. On the 1st of January, or in the calends of that month, they celebrated the Janualia. At that festival, they offered to Janus a mixture of flour and salt with incense and with wine. The Temple of Janus was said to have been built by Romulus after he had made peace with the Sabines. In one of my old videos, I've showed you Janus shaking the hand of Romulus after he had made peace with the Sabines. And it was this temple was a statue with two faces. King Numa ordained that it should be opened during the war and shut during peace. In the 7th book of the Aeneid, Virgil has described in some fine verses this imposing ceremony. The figure of this temple is preserved on medals. It was shut only twice, from the foundation of Rome to the year 725, namely under the reign of Numa, year 38, and after the Second Punic War in 519, under the consulate of Titus Manlius. So you can say that it's just gone about something else now. But I just thought that it was so interesting for me to show the actual inscription of the writing of he taught people how to build walls. I found that fascinating, and you can see now, guys, why I'm excited to include in this, and the link with Janus and Uranus, or Coelius pronunciation. So there you go, guys. Interesting, isn't it? So now you can say, why did I mention Uranus? Well, because obviously he's Janus's father, but as you can see, he's the god of the sky and the heavens, and there he is with his union with Gaia. So you have the god of the heavens, god of the earth, as above, so below. Can you see it now? They even look similar. The planet Uranus is sometimes referred to by its nickname, the bull's eye. Can you see the emphasis on the bull? Now keep that bull bit in your back of your mind for later on. The belts and the zones along with the rings around the planet make Uranus appear similar to a bull's eye. Uranus was discovered in 1871 by William Herschel. It is a blue-green planet made up mostly of water, methane and ammonia ice. Originally it was named after the King George, so it was called George's planet. And that's just a little tidbit that's to join on you. But yeah, just keeping the bull bit in the back of your mind for in a minute, because it'll be a wow. if you type in starforts, and there you go, you will automatic come to this page, generally 9 times out of 10, and what you'll see they're actually named bastion forts. A bastion fort, or tres Italiana is a fortification in a style that evolved during the early modern period of gunpowder, when the cannon came to dominate the battlefield. So that is what so-called alt, or the main media, call them. We call them star forts because obviously of the pattern. But I want to show you something interesting on that bastion fort. So I thought, could I type that into the Latin convert and get anything? So I typed bastion into the Latin converter and it gave me anti-murale. So I thought, that sounds interesting. Could I find anything on that? So I found a few things on it and interesting things not on it. So you can see anti-murale myth. The anti-murale myth, or the bulwark. And what happens is, what the bulwark is, I can show you. If you carry on a bit more, you notice that anti-murale turns into bulwarks. The bulwark meaning bull. Did we not just say bull is another name for Uranus or Uranus? So we're saying Janus helped to build humans' walls in the shape of stars. Stars, well, we'd need a god of the heavens. Where are stars? They're in the heavens, they're in the sky. So he's then linked to the bull. In fact, both him and Gaia are both linked to the bull. And we have a bulwark, or a bulwarks, works for bull. You could even say Baal, but you can say a solid wall-like structure raised for defence, rampart, breakwater, seawall building, a bulwark in the harbour, a strong support or a protection, democratic principles that stand as a bulwark against tyranny, or a bulwark of freedom, and nautical, the side of a ship, the upper deck, usually used in plural. Well, Janus is linked to maritime law. He taught the law. He is the first shipbuilder. So you're getting more and one link here. So we have anti-mural, bastion forts turn into bulwark, or bulwark, works for bull. And we have Uranus or Uranus being associated, his nickname, as the bull's eye. Could be slim, I don't know, but I had to include it, and it made me raise my eyebrow anyway. So see what you guys think of that. So picture the scene. Uranus or Uranus doesn't like his kids. Gaia, the mother of the kids, the titans, the gods, hatches a plan with Kronos, who is actually Janus, who is actually Uranus. It's a confusing story. Well, they hatch a plan. Kronos ends up going into the heavens and castrating Uranus. Yep, he cuts his tackle off and throws it over his shoulder. The resulting blood does the following. They created giants, I tell you. Yep. The giants were generated from Uranus or Uranus's blood, resulting from his castration by Kronos. They became powerful enough to try to unseat Zeus and the Olympians early in their rule. When the gods won, they were imprisoned, the giants, in Tartarus. So yep, the blood of Uranus created the giants, hitting the earth. Also, the Furies, or the Erinyes. The Furies are the Erinyes, who were the daughters of Gaia and Uranus. They resulted from a drop of Uranus's blood falling onto the earth. They live in the underworld, serving Hades and tormenting evildoers. However, Greek poets saw them as pursuing sinners on earth. The Furies are cruel, but they are renowned for being fair. So that's very interesting. You're getting giants and the Furies from the blood hitting the earth. What about if the blood, where it landed, created the idea for star forts, the patterns? They could have been built where the blood dropped. Just a thought. So hear me out, As you can see from this picture, you have a star fort at the top and an aerial view of DNA double helix, and obviously cymatics at the side. We know they make patterns of stars. You can just see. We have snowflakes. That is when the frequency and the snow, you know, the ice hits a medium, it creates the pattern. We have an atomic structure of gold. Well, aren't the blood of the gods supposedly the ambrosia gold? So why is the structure of gold, AU the Merkaba, obviously the Mer meaning light, Ka meaning spirit, Ba meaning body, obviously it looks like a star fort. So you picture him being castrated, his blood hitting the medium, hitting the heavens, hitting the earth. Could, when it have landed, obviously it created giants, it created the Furies. Could these have created the patterns, the energy, the ley lines, the star forts, what they actually based on, the actual star? I've already shown you Janus showed him how to build the walls, and now we have him being castrated and his blood hitting the earth, creating giants, furies, and all that. And I'm talking about, could the blood be key to creating the patterns on earth? And I've got more. Just wait till you see this. I talk about this in a very, very old video I did called Starfort the Fallen, because I was just talking about, could it be the Fallen, the reason behind Starforts? So that's what I said, and I didn't make the comparison then to Uranus or Uranus, how you want to pronounce it, until now making this video. From making the last video that I talked about the cannibalism in the Starforts, and looking into the Starforts again with fresh eyes, having taken a break, and look what I found, the 2 videos that I've made just from researching again with fresh eyes, having a bit more knowledge of different topics, just to see what connections it can make. Remember, we all have a different connection. Our tools connect things differently, and this is just how I've connected. So as you can see, I've put into the light converter. I've not saw it in a while, and I've just put Starfort. And what we have is Stella, Occident, Castello. Now, as you know, Stella will be star, and Castello will be castle or fort. But Occident, what could that be? Now, what have we just been talking about? Uranus getting castrated by Kronos. He got cut. And, you know what I mean, I've not looked deeply into it. Did he die from it? So pardon me ignorance on that. But look what I found. This is what Occident means. So you have Occident, etymology in line from the verb occido. I fall down. I die. Now you go, you're talking about someone who's just been castrated. They're going to fall down. They're going to die. Look at the next bit, etymology number 2. And there's only 2 etymologies on it. From the verb occido. So, you know, I cut down, I kill. I cut down. Surely not. So, actually in the word, Starfort, Stella, Occident, Castello. So, it's talking about star castles, star forts, and being cut down and killed. It sounded like someone was being castrated and the blood hit the ground. That is too much. Surely, guys, this is not just me wanting this. You can see, I cut down, I kill. You know what I mean? I mean, you just have to look at this. Castle. Arch. Or archer. Or arche. Well, as you know, Janus is the god of arches. But if I'm just looking at this at the Greek standpoint of view, and then I'll just put it in as the meaning first. Even in Spanish, it means spelling of a Basque art, stony place. So it sounds like a castle or a fort. Yep. And then you got other meanings. Arc, arches, citadel, stronghold, summit, hilltop, refuge, citadel. But arche, or Arce, even the same spelling, was a daughter of Thamus and fraternal twin of Iris. She was a Greek god with the same name as the castle, and she was a messenger. Arche, let me just make this bigger for you while I'm here. And she was, Greek gods, a sky god. Oh, okay. Arce was the messenger of the Titan gods and the sister of the rainbow goddess Iris. During the Titan War, the two goddesses served on opposite sides. Iris became the messenger of the Olympian gods, and Arce assumed the role of messenger of the Titans. At the end of the war, Zeus stripped her of her wings and cast her into the pit of Tartaros. Tartaria? Arce may have represented the faded secondary rainbow, which is sometimes seen in the sky in the shadow of the first. So guys, tell me that is not interesting. I mean, you have starfort, meaning Stella Occident Castello, Star Castle, or cut down and killed. Cut, wasn't Uranus cut? And we're talking about the fallen, the blood created the giants, the Furies. I've just been talking about the catacombs and the starforts in my last video, and how is it just the elites eating cannibals? Thank you. See, someone's tapping the horn. Well, fort, imperium, means government. So the fort, the castle, is the government. That's just an interesting tidbit that I just included. So guys, we have from Latin converter, starfort, Stella Occident Castello. So Stella, star, Castello, castle, fort, and we cut down from the Occident. So we're talking about something being cut down, and to me, creating the star castles. Star castles, star forts. And then we even have the castle in Latin, meaning Arce, which is a messenger for the Titans and the gods. There you go, guys. Can you see why I'm so interested and blown away? Hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed this as much as I have. It's just a different perspective on looking at things. You can take it on board, you can ignore it, you can laugh at it. Doesn't matter. I find it very fascinating, and beyond the coincidence to make the connections all the way around. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, they call me the black sheep. You know they call me the black sheep.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good evening. Good night. And hello. And thanks for the support. Truly spectacular again, guys. Thank you for watching, subscribing, hitting them, them thumbs up. And for all the haters, I we know who you are, because you're that sad little one person who decided to thumbs down. That's for you. Oh my god, I'm so mental for today. I'm just so in a humour today. So, as you can see, this is just something new I've brought out. Sorry, I'm going with the giggles. I've been thinking about it for a long time, as I was saying last week, but researching for that video last week on Starfort and the catacombs, I came across this information. And for you out there, people who do watch my stuff and do talk to me on a regular basis, know I do research Janice. I do get mocked for it though, and that's for the haters, because they don't understand just how big this Janice is. And Janice is just his Roman name. It's an entity it's been here from the beginning and the end, hence the Alpha and Omega, and he is linked to Chronos and time and everything in between. So when I'm researching something, I try to keep as much in as I possibly can. I don't disregard it, but obviously when you have an information overload, there's only so much you can try and keep in your memory, your short-term memory. And I'm researching that video, and I come across a passage. It talks about how Janus showed humanity how to create walls around cities or towns. And I'm like, I'm researching starforts here. I find what I read out, that Janus showed humanity how to build walls. Well, that's starforts to me. And people say, well, that's just castles and all. They say you always get the haters. And that's fair enough, you know what I mean? Because it's just how you perceive the information. I perceived it. And it's not like in a way I wanted to. I've just read it out, and you can see he taught people how to create walls around cities, and that's what starforts are. So then it's like the case of what do we include it with that last week, or do we create something new? Do I make another video? And that's why I said I'm going to create another video just off that, and then research a little bit more into it. Well, I know from history is a big lie. I say, you know, guys, you see me say what every week, nearly every video. You can't trust history. You can't trust the truth, because the truth is a rut, and you get stuck in it. It's not necessarily the truth is fact, and it's not. I've talked about it so many times and shown so much evidence for that. And people will be screaming at TV, and you know he's lying. The truth is your perspective. So if you are researching Z topic, and then you look at other information, how you look and what information is flowing in will control how you see any other topics. So if you do look at a lot of topics, your broad spectrum, you know, you can fresh ideas. You look at something and go, that reminds me of this from starforts and tatter. Oh, this reminds me from this, from that, and their history, and this is how you look at it, and this is why you get a broader spectrum. And that's what I try and do. Yes, I do look at Janice a lot, but people send me a lot of information, and I see a lot of things. I'm not going to hide what I see. Why should I hide my opinion when people can voice theirs? And I'm not doing it no more. If you don't like what you see, don't watch. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to have a bad word. If you don't like it, just don't watch it. When you get triggered, and people think, oh, we're not triggered. When you get an emotional response to a topic, it's what triggered means. Now, an emotional response is being triggered, and it's a spell. So when you get triggered, the spell is telling you to get angry and emotional on that topic. I get triggered on certain things because I get emotional. I'm an emotional person. So, you know, I am just being honest. The way I handle it is, you know, okay, that's your belief. Move on. I don't criticise, because I was just brought up, if you can't say a good word, don't say anything at all. And people these days seem to think, yeah, big and hard when you can do keyboard warriors. Well, that's your downfall. That's just not who I am. So when I see something like this, and this is huge, Janice showing humanity how to create walls around cities, that to me is starforts. Now, you can lie and say, well, he said, it's just information. I'm not saying this is facts. I'm just showing you something I have found and formulating an idea, a video on what I found. Basically, what everyone does. People can go, well, I saw a sprite in the sky and he waved and then shot up my bum. Well, you know, then they make videos on it, and then they'll see my stuff and they'll complain. This is just artistic impression. I've saw the information and this is what I make. And people always say, don't apologise. Well, sometimes I fall back into how I am, more of apology, because people are just idiots. And this is not me having a go at anyone, but do you know what I mean? If I don't say this, people message through the thousands. Oh, you didn't say it, you didn't. It's just what it is. And I just love researching all topics. And that is somewhat, like I've said many times, it hurts my channel because I don't stick to one video, one topic. Just look at the topics. So, getting back to this, I'm in a good mood. So, these rants. So seeing that just blew me away, and I was that excited I nearly let slip last week, and I've told a few close friends. I'm like, no way. See, because I've researched into Janice a lot. I know the links to Noah. I know the links, obviously, I showed you his name. He's linked to creating the vine and wine. I know he created maritime law because of his ties to the Vatican. Right? So now when I found that he showed humans how to create walls, does that mean he created every star? No. I'm just run with the idea, and then I'm thinking, is that it? Well, this is what history is so confusing. And like I said, I'm open and honest about it. There is articles I found and in books, very, very old books, stating Janus is Uranus or Uranus. I have Janus saying Janus is Kronos. Janus is Saturn. Saturn is Jupiter. And I've showed them in books. Now, this is what people do by the bucket load. They'll show something in the book and take it as fact. I don't. Even this, I'm not taking it as fact. The books are just someone's interpretation of what they heard and seen, and it got written into a book. And I'm just using this for this video. So we have Janice created the walls around cities, starforts. I'm like, wow, the little light gone on over my head, and that's why I'm trying to finish that video quick. Oh, come on. I don't need any more information for this video. I'm trying to edit. Oh, come on, Paul, just finish it and get onto this video quick. So that is what I was like a little kid, because it's fresh information and it's something different. I don't want to make a video just for being different sake. I want to show the process of how I've found information, and I like making it into a video. So then I, obviously from researching Janus, I know his ties to being Uranus or his father, because that's what history is. You have like Sheshat or Sheshet being Thoth's wife and sister. So, you know, history is not accurate because it's just perspective. So in this scenario, he is Uranus' son, and the counterpart is Celias or Soalas, or something like pronunciation, CEA or CAE. So Uranus. So he is in the stars. So I'm thinking, create the walls down below on Earth. And remember, Janus is not only a messenger, the god of beginnings and time. He is a janitor. He controls the key. He's got the keys. He's what binds and connects heaven to earth. He is the messenger. So if you want to get to the gods, you have to go through him, according to, you know, what I've researched. So he's taught humans, supposedly a bit like the Prometheus type of character with the fire. And I'm just thinking, like, still getting like, wow, come across this. So he taught humans how to build walls and the star forts, and people have always said how the star forts look like the stars in the sky, and we have the Nazca lines built so you can see them from above, from the gods, and obviously people then tie ancient aliens and whatnot to that, but they're built to be seen from above. Who is above but Uranus or Uranus? So you're looking down and seeing the stars as above, so below. The stars are on Gaia on Earth, and that's why I did that as above, so below, because of the union between them two. And even if you typed in, you know, as above, so below, you'll get the pictures of the film, which, remember, if you've watched it, it's a good film. You go into Paris catacombs, and to get out, you have to go to deeper to get out. You have to go down to get up. And other images are the Rosicrucian star, and I'm like, no way, so as above, so below, and you'll get different interpretations of similar pictures and the stars. So that just got me, whoa, this is so interesting. You have the Janus linked to Uranus. He is the god of the sky or the heavens, and you have the interpretation as above, so below. So if the stars above, and Pythagoras has talked about it, I've shown them so many videos on this, of that connection. So then I'm looking deeper and deeper into the topic, and then I hear, because many times I've been brought up on the old videos like Jason and the Argonauts and different things, when you used to cut the blood, and when you used to cut the giant's blood on, or the snake, they create other giants or skeletons in the floor, if I can remember. So in this, Kronos castrates Uranus, and he creates the giants, different types of giants, and he creates the furries. So what if his blood, obviously it being godly, being in essence of gold, and that's why I put the Macabre thing in, and it seemed to all match. That's a star shaped, the golden blood of the Greek gods, creating a star pattern. And we know, and certain things have happened in places of of importance, they build buildings on top of them. So could this be where blood hit the ground and giants came up? These built the star forts, and obviously we've got star forts, giants. Are they eating the bones? And people have talked about in the comments that I left out. I didn't put about 3, 5, 4 form. I did in the original Paris Catacombs video, but You'll get revving that engine. So all this just correlates, and it just made it interesting. Like I always say, I'm not saying this is fact, but in the myth, when and in science now, when anything hits a medium, it creates a pattern, cymatics. Now, could the blood create a starfort pattern etched in the floor? The giants come out and people under the ground built structures to match the patterns on the floor. Did they lay on ley lines that created this pattern? The energy in different things were maybe so much stronger and different in those days. But that just intrigued me about the blood. And then you seen the gold macabre, and that's a star, and you're like, no way. So then when I type in starforts into the Latin converter, and I get Stella Ocaridum Castellio, and you have Stella, star, and Ocaridum, to kill, to cut, you have to be sitting there, if you have got an objective head, going, no way, Paul, do not say that is a coincidence, because I'm talking about essence of Uranus being cut, his blood hitting the floor, creating the star patterns, as above so below, and it means to cut, to kill, and it's a play with language, and we know language is spells. That, and I'm not saying that word I just said I can't do, it's just, I went, and I covered that in an old video. It's got to be over a year old. Because I was talking then about it's the starforts for the fallen. The fallen. His blood falling. And we know this could be, what's that word? Allegoric, or, have a deep meaning. So if someone gets cut and the blood is falling, the vibration, his blood is special. It's a blood of the gods, creating giants and whatnot. And then we have it all the star patterns, and that just blew me away. And to obviously stellar star and castles and the fort, meaning government, because governments, they believe they're elites or followers, and they believe they are born from the blood of the gods. And we're talking about how these star forts created their own governments. It just built into something really, really interesting. And you know what I mean? You're talking about when I was anti-murali from the starfort bit, and that, another word for a starfort is bulwarks. And Uranus is known as the bull's eye, and Gaia, also I'm no good at astrology, is associated with Taurus. So you got the two entities of the bull there, and it's a bulwark. Things just add up, so you make yourself go, I have to make a video on this, and this is what I've done, and I'm just passing on the knowledge, what I've found, and you can take it on board. Not many people do take it on board, but you know what I mean. I'm only joking. It's just so intriguing. I mean, there's two passages as well I want to read out about Revelation, and it says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations will not give their light. The rising sun darkened, and the moon not give light." Are they going to talk about in end times? Them stars up there will go out, and the stars of the starforts will reignite, because obviously these people could be in dumbs, which are the modern day version of starforts. All the stars of heaven will dissolve from the sky. They will be rolled up like a scroll, and their stars will fall like withered leaves from the vine. Janus taught people how to make the vine. That's one of his alternate names. Janus Noah, from the vine. And then you're talking about how the leaves will wither from the fig tree. Well, we know from my research not long ago, the fig symbol and that means fuck you. So, you know what I mean? It's just so intriguing, and when you just look into things differently, and like I say, guys, I am honest. There's what proof I have, I've just showed you in this video. It's intriguing. It's different. It's so much different on the starforts. Yes, we all know about the frequency aspect, how they look like snowflakes and oscillating patterns, because anytime something hits a medium, it's called cymatics. and it creates a star pattern, variants of the star pattern. Also, some you can create circles, which I have covered before. So I just want to leave that with you guys. It's just a quick video. It's excited me. I don't know where I'm going to go with it for in future, but I've just had to get this out of my system, and I'm excited about it. How star patterns, we're talking about Janice creating walls for humans to build around cities, which are star forts. No, you can look at it where you want. If you don't want to believe in it, it's still down in a book. So why can't I use it like you guys use yours information? So leave that with you there. I'll see what you think. You're probably sitting at home going, no, we just knew we was going to get Janice in somewhere with star forts, and eventually now I have. But I only did this because I went back with fresh eyes from doing other topics, and as I'm researching, that came up, and it was just too much to show, too much to hold back. When I see something good information like this, I have to share it with you. And I was humming and hawing, and I was talking to me. I'd like to say my good friend, but unfortunately he is. That's Steve. And I said, should I put it in this video next week? I think what I'll do a standalone, alright? So, you know, you nearly had it last week. So, hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed this video. It's something different. I mean, I'm just blown away by the Stella Occident Castellio, and that meaning to cut, to kill. And we have the Uranus link of being cut, and then the blood meaning the giants. That is just wow for me. Doesn't mean it's fact, it just means it's a wow. So guys, hopefully you have a pleasant week. Hopefully I will get it out today. I'm not saying what day it is. Thank you for your support. Please give it a like. I'm being so held back by YouTube. They're not showing comments. They're messing around with me really bad. But it's a game, and we just have to play our part. So please help by sharing, liking, and remember, always wear a smile. Bye guys, take care.